I'll take this right here. This is what I got to say. So look, watch this. If you gonna be in it, motherfucker, you got let me put my gloves on.
Dr. Pepper.
Hello world, what's good, Chico? It's your host of the city, Chico 530, Dijon Mustard. Wow, we made it. You know what I'm saying? I fucked up.
Dr. Pepper.
I do it again. Hello world, what's good, Chico? It's your host of the city, Chico 530, Dijon Mustard. And wow, we've made it to the 5th day of Kwanzaa, with 2 days remaining. Now, on this 5th day of Kwanzaa, we embrace the theme of Imani, representing faith, as Saturday brings us an opportunity for introspection. While externally we celebrate faith, internally our reflections turn to Nia, the purpose that has guided us throughout this festive week. Now, let's get straight into our daily discussions. Today, we will reflect on Imani, faith, and Nia, purpose. Today, as we focus on Imani, let's explore the significance of faith in our community. Faith not only binds us together, but also provides the strength to endure challenges. Simultaneously, our reflections on Nia, the purpose that propels us forward, becomes integral. Nia gives our faith direction and substance, ensuring that our collective efforts are purposeful and meaningful. There are benefits for practicing Imani and Nia in our local community. When Imani and Nia are embraced within a local community, the benefits are profound. Faith, as represented by Imani, fosters trust and unity amongst community members. It becomes a beacon of hope during difficult times, reinforcing the bond that ties us together. Meanwhile, Nia, the guiding purpose, channels our collective energy towards shared goals. This synergy results in a community that not only believes in its potential, but actively works towards realizing a common purpose. Connections and mutual benefits. The connection between Imani and Nia is evident in our mutual reinforcement. Faith, when grounded in purpose, becomes a catalyst for positive change. As we collectively invest in our shared purpose, our faith in our community's potential deepens. Imani and Nia, when practiced hand in hand, creates a resilient and purposeful driven community that draws on the strength of its faith and the direction of its purpose. In summary, the harmonious practice of Imani, faith, Nia, purpose, in a local community fosters unity, resilience, and a sense of shared direction. Faith becomes that glue that binds us, while purpose gives that faith a meaningful course. Together, they weave a narrative of strength, purpose, and collective achievements within our community.
So here are the principles. The first principle is umoja. Say that with me. Umoja. Unity. It teaches us and cultivates in us an active commitment to a caring togetherness. I want y'all to care for each other. You can't just be together. You got to be for each other, not just be with each other. You got to be for each other, and you got to care, right? A caring togetherness in our families and communities as African people. The principle also fosters a genuine sense of kinship and shared interests of common good with other human beings, and calls for a special solidarity with other oppressed and struggling peoples of the world who also engage in righteous resistance to evil and injustice in the world. And it urges respect for the sacred and sacredness and interrelatedness of life, and teaches us a profound sense of oneness with the world and an ethical responsibility for its well-being and fruition. Sometimes it's very difficult. That's another thing I should like about the nation. When they always say the planet, they was talking about the planet, right?
Yes.
That gets us away from ghetto conversations.
Yes.
We are responsible for the world. Do you understand that? For the planet itself. And I'll come back to that. The principle next is Kuja Chakalia. Self-determination. Reaffirms the right and responsibility of each people to determine their own destiny in daily life, to speak their own special culture truth, and make their own unique contribution to reconceiving and reconstructing society in the world. And this principle commits us to mutual respect for all persons as possessors of dignity and divinity, entitled to equal rights, equal treatment, and to the shared goods of the world, and for each people and culture as a unique and equally valid and valuable way of being human in the world. The third principle, Ujima.
Ujima.
Collective work and responsibility.
Collective work and responsibility.
This principle teaches us that we are each and all responsible to each other, and we are responsible for building the life we want to live. Can I say that again?
Yes.
We are responsible for building the life we want to live. And we're responsible for building the caring community, the just society, and the good world we want to live in and leave for future generations. This principle, Ujima, calls on us to engage the problems of our brothers and sisters as our own and to solve them together, and to recognize we're responsible to and for each other in our shared work and struggle to bring and sustain good in the world. The next principle, Ujamaa.
Ujama.
Cooperative economics.
Cooperative
It
economics.
teaches us an ethics of shared work and wealth. Shared work and wealth. And the good and rightness of cooperative creation and sharing of the good of the world. That's the model of the harvest celebration. It is the cooperative creation and sharing of good in the world. And we must emulate that, not only in our conversations at Kwanzaa, but in our practice all year round. Can we create good together and then share it in the most just and equitable ways? This principle also calls on us to give rightful respect and just treatment to workers and to due consideration and care for the poor and the vulnerable. It teaches us to care for the environment and to resist corporate and other plundering, pollution, and depletion of the earth. The principle of Nia,
Nia.
purpose,
Purpose.
commits us to work for the realization of the collective vocation, an ancient African ethical imperative found in the Odu Ifa. It says we are divinely chosen to bring good into the world and not let any good be lost. We humans are divinely chosen then to bring good in the world, but we must choose to be chosen. And we must act then in ways worthy of the divine choice and assignment given to us to constantly bring good in the world and not let any good be lost. Moreover, as Marcus Garvey told us, we must always be engaged in work to restore Africa and African people to their proper place in the world. He says to restore them, quote, as a bright star among the constellations of nations of the world. A bright star. Not just a twinkling star, but a bright star. The principle of Kumba, creativity, teaches us to do all we can in the way we can in order to leave our community more beautiful and beneficial than we inherited. And thus the ancient Mayan ethical imperative of Suraj Ta calls on us to be responsive to and responsible for the well-being of the world and all in it. In a word, we are to raise up what is in ruins, to repair what is damaged, to rejoin what is severed or divided, to replenish what is depleted, to set right what is wrong, to strengthen what is weakened, and to make flourish that which is fragile and undeveloped. And we do that first in our relationships. We can't repair the environment if our house is on fire.
No.
The Odu Ifa says that people were asked to sacrifice their grudges, their little petty differences on their way to war.
Oh.
But they did not sacrifice, and they did not know that the war was already lost before they reached the battlefield.
Oh.
Keep in mind we are our own liberators, but we can also be a big problem for ourselves. That's why Cabral says, regardless of the obstacle the oppressor put in our path, the greatest struggle is the struggle against our own weaknesses, against that in us, which is in contradiction, we say in us, which is that in us, which is in contradiction to our values and the choice we've made to free ourselves and be ourselves and build a good world we all want and deserve to live in and to pass on to future generations. The last principle is a principle of Imani.
Imani.
Faith.
Faith.
Teaches us to embrace the beautiful and unbreakable faith of our forefathers and foremothers. An unbreakable faith they had. Otherwise, we would not be here, y'all.
That's right. Hey.
We can't forget those before us. We have to pay homage to those who walked and worked and sacrificed before us. And here, I want to just say that. I want us to take just a moment. I know we've done it the day before, but I want to just take this moment for me and Tia Moya and our organization, us, to pay homage to a soldier who would not walk away from the battlefield also, our brother Watusi Brand. So my parents and their parents before believed that eventually the good they held to would eventually triumph.
Yes.
That justice would triumph in the world. That people would have well-being, that humans would flourish. And they linked their faith to hard work, their hope to righteous struggle, and their prayers to transformative practice. This is why they had a grounded faith, right? Because they linked their faith to hard work. They didn't just believe, they got in there and worked. And they linked their hope to righteous struggle. It's good to hope, but if you don't struggle, it's hopeless. Because power, Frederick Douglass said, concedes nothing without demand.